forecast. Your extended forecast.
Live from the Weather Channel, here's First Outlook.
If you love the snow and have the time to play, you'll enjoy what a storm is bringing to New York City. But if you have to work or travel ahead, you may not be happy with this forecast.
An evening snow had folks around Minneapolis dusting off their cars. Not much of a headache. It's the sub-zero wind chills that are making life rough in the Midwest. Welcome to First Outlook for Monday, February 10th. I'm Kim Perez.
And I'm Nick Walker. It's 5 a.m. in Philadelphia, 4 a.m. in Birmingham. Now, the last of wet weather is working its way across the southeast right now.
And the system that brought snow to Little Rock and Memphis is now developing into a storm from D.C. to Boston. Nick?
And we'll continue to see this snow move toward Boston as we get into the afternoon hours. It's going to be earlier than that down here toward the mid-Atlantic. Washington, D.C., it's just about on your doorstep. You'll see it during the morning drive around Philadelphia, probably waiting till after your morning commute around New York City, but it's coming too. You'll see snow back toward Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Detroit, and Cincinnati has seen some throughout the night and into this morning. Philadelphia looks like probably anywhere between 2 and 4 inches of snow could fall. As we get through the afternoon, it should taper off into the evening hours. Your high temperature is just a couple of degrees above the freezing mark. You're right now at 31 degrees, just a degree below. 35 in New York City, 24 in Boston. Colder as you move toward the north. There's Bangor at 3 above and Caribou at 3 below this morning. Buffalo, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, into the 20s this morning. We have a cold front well toward the north, an area of low pressure well toward the south. That's what's working together to bring you the snowfall this morning. And as this cold front continues to move eastward, we'll see more snow as we get into the evening hours back toward the lakes and eventually tomorrow even into the mid-Atlantic once again. But so far this morning, we're seeing snow just right to the south of Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. It is rain mixed with snow and just rain down into the southern portion of Virginia this morning. Philadelphia, New York, most of your snow still left to come. That's coming later on in the day here around the Boston area. Right along the shoreline, we'll probably see anywhere between 2, 4, 5 inches of snow, lesser amounts toward the north and back toward most areas of the west. So, snow for you today. As you get into tomorrow, we'll see that cold front make its way eastward, and we'll find ourselves with the area of low pressure deepening offshore to bring you more snowfall as we get through the latter part of today. Now, we want to head toward the southeast and find out what's been brewing there. Kim?
And Nick, in the south, we have had some pretty good weather, I think, in the last week or two, but we had the rain move through last night, and we think it'll be with us here in Atlanta this morning, and Charlotte as well, and thunderstorms coming into the not thunderstorms, but a few showers here in Tampa and Orlando by later on today. 44 in Memphis for the high today, Tulsa 50 after some snowfall here. I mean, look at the track this storm took. We had snow across Oklahoma, northern Arkansas, central Tennessee, 1 to 3 inches, even around Nashville, 3 or 4 inches. Current temperatures, well, 32 in Nashville, 34 in Little Rock. So yes, we'll see that snow hang out for a little while longer anyway. But 40 degrees in Atlanta. South of our front, we're still in the 60s here and 70s in Miami. But there's the front that's bringing the rain that brought the snow into parts of the Mississippi River Valley, and it's on its way out. It's moving out, and most of it is in the form of rain. Anywhere from Atlanta up towards Greenville, it is raining. Now, this rain will be with us this morning in Atlanta, but then we're calling for sunshine the rest of the week, where by Friday, 59 degrees, getting above average, finally, you say. Columbia, Myrtle Beach, Wilmington, all reporting some rain out there. Be careful on the roads. We could see a ½ inch to an inch. And of course, the mountains of North Carolina will pick up 1 to 3 out there. By tonight, our front is through. Looks like Tampa and Orlando. Now, the forecast for Tampa, Most of the day looks good. By 3 o'clock, expect those showers to come in with the front, and then we clear out, looks like, by the evening hours. For tomorrow, everybody's dry. Looking much better tomorrow. 64 in New Orleans and 50 degrees in Memphis. Let's get an update here in the Midwest. Nick?
And a few of us are going to be dry here today. I think we will around the Minneapolis area, but very cold. Your high temperature around 6 degrees. Fargo should hit 5. Snow back toward your west and toward your east. Chicago could see a little bit this morning, but more likely toward your south and toward your east. This cold front making its way through is going to eventually bring much colder temperatures to Milwaukee, to Chicago. So as we get through the afternoon hours, your temperatures here in Chicago are just going to be falling. You'll see those highs probably this morning and then falling into the teens later on. 23 right now in Chicago. That's probably as warm as you're going to find today. You're just below freezing at Kansas City and St. Louis. Cold in Minneapolis with 4 degrees. It's 19 below at International Falls. Factor in a little bit of wind. You've got a wind chill down into the 30 below range. This is dangerously cold. You want to put on that hat, put on that heavy coat if you venture out at all today, and don't stay out for any length of time at all. A few flurries around Milwaukee and Chicago this morning. Most of the snow toward your east. Indianapolis, you've seen that light snow throughout the evening hours and overnight, and into Cincinnati as well. You'll probably see maybe 1 to 3 inches of snowfall here, as well as Detroit and in Cleveland. Kim?
Our weather view this morning takes a look at snow and its benefits. Nearly 6 inches of the white stuff fell on the Tulsa area on Sunday. It gave local residents an opportunity to get out and enjoy it, but enjoy it now because it's not going to last too long. Today's forecast calls for sunny skies with temperatures in the low 50s. Meanwhile, Albuquerque got some much-needed precipitation over the weekend. About 2 inches of snow fell, making roadways wet and traveling a bit treacherous. It'll be dry today, but you can expect rain by midweek.
Although much of the snow was light, any amount of precipitation helps the drought situation in the Intermountain West. Look at this. You have had some snow, but Salt Lake City still 30 inches behind for the season. Colorado Springs could use about 14.5 inches. Flagstaff way behind with almost 35 inches of a deficit.
Well, you will see snowy conditions develop quickly along the East Coast.
Good news for the kids who get to play. Not so good for anyone who has to travel. Just ahead, what you need to know about where this snow will disrupt travel at the airports or on the road.
You're watching First Outlook on the Weather Channel.
First Outlook is sponsored by Nissan and your Nissan dealer.
Every day, the Northeast wakes up to billions of allergens, from dogs and dust to mold and maples. That's why there's Clarinex. Clarinex provides receptor protection to help block histamine. Get 24-hour non-drowsy allergy relief anywhere, anytime. Side effects are similar to sugar pills, including sore throat, dry mouth, and fatigue. Indoor allergies, outdoor allergies, wherever. Talk to your doctor about Clarinex.
Hello?
Congratulations, Dad. Or should I say, Grandpa.
Grandpa.
Grandpa! Come on, Grandpa!
So what's his name?
Maggie.
His name's Maggie?
Grandpa! Come on, Grandpa!
Maggie.
There's a place where magic lives. To get there with your grandkids, call 1-407-WDisney.
Storm Stories tonight at 8 on the Weather Channel. And now, here's your local on the 8s. Currently in your area, 30 degrees with light snow. forecast. Your extended forecast.
USA Today and the Weather Channel are linked to provide you with up-to-date information 5 days a week. USA Today supplies weather-related news stories. You can get your forecast from the Weather Channel on the USA Today weather page. Now, here's Kim with the travel close-up.
And Nick, in the Northeast, expect more snow here. Now, it's not coming into Boston till later today. You're fine this morning. You're fine this afternoon. It's towards dinner time that we're going to see the problems. Temperatures in the 30s. And we'll expect maybe 2 to 4 inches out of this one. In New York City, before lunch, right around lunchtime, we're expecting temperatures today to get into the mid-30s. So the roads may not be so bad, but we are going to see maybe 2 inches to 4 inches. Long Island will probably see even more than that. Folks in Philadelphia, it's not here yet, but that snow is coming. Some snow here around D.C. We think it should be here in the next couple of hours, and we'll get temperatures here in the mid-30s. And you will also see maybe about 3 inches out of this. D.C., some light snow out there now. Be careful traveling this morning. Today's forecast calling for those temperatures to get above freezing, about 35 here around the nation's capital. In Atlanta, morning rain, and then it should be over with. We'll get temperatures up in the 50s today. Not too bad. As you can see, very light rain has moved through. Yes, we'll still see maybe a little drizzle out there this morning, and then it gets much better this afternoon. In Orlando, as our front comes through, we're going to see some showers here with temperatures in the 70s today, while in Chicago, a cold day. How about the 20s? But sunshine is going to be here. Los Angeles, dry for one more day. The extended forecast looks a little rainy for you folks, but dry today, temperatures in the 70s. Heading to Seattle, you don't need your umbrella today. Temperatures here will be into the 40s. Nick?
Well, it is Monday morning, time for a lot of business travelers to hit the roads in anticipation of hitting the airports. Let's take a look at some of those airport hubs, and both the airports and the roads too. At New York City, we'll see snowfall today. Philadelphia too, a little bit early on. New York, I think, is going to find probably after the morning drive is when this is going to come in. So maybe a little earlier trip to the airport would be a good idea. Detroit, mainly light snow this morning, and should see some rain around Atlanta. Shouldn't hamper the travel prospects too much today. Now, what we're going to find here on the roads is wet here toward the south and white toward the north. We're seeing sort of a mixture of both around the mid-Atlantic this morning, and we're finding ourselves with more snow on the way for, say, Virginia, northward into Maine, and a little bit coming back into Montana and into the plains too. So snow encroaching upon the Washington, D.C. area right now. We'll see that snow along Interstate 95. 81 is already seeing it around the Roanoke area. We'll find both 90 and 80 with snowfall today, and snow eventually all the way up into Maine by the time we get into the evening hours. Toward the south, it's been rain overnight here around the Atlanta area. I-20 still wet. Portions of 85 on up into South Carolina, and North Carolina along 95 is going to be wet here for a while too. Even a few showers lingering around I-10 in Florida. Also some patchy fog around Tallahassee. Could be kind of thick. Here around the Great Lakes, we are seeing a few snowflakes around Milwaukee, around Chicago. More, I think, around Indianapolis, around probably the Cincinnati area as we get through the morning hours. This is going to be a snowier time for you. But even Detroit and Cleveland, I think, we'll find a little bit too. Here toward the west, it's snow through Montana. The mountains getting another dose of snowfall. Other than that, I-70, I-5 look pretty clear for your travel this morning. Now, let's take a look into tomorrow's forecast. Kim?
And it looks snowy again around the Ohio Valley for tomorrow with that Arctic front coming in. So expect lake effect snow Heavy here around Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo. For you too, Marquette. Looking at some heavy lake effect snow as well. Sunny in the south, then we start to see the rain coming in to Los Angeles. Now we think temperatures across the south will get more seasonable here, but still very cold across the northern states. Nick?
Well, we want to take a look internationally now. If your travel plans include, say, Europe, you're going to find yourself with some clouds over Paris and London with highs in the mid-40s. Madrid looking better with some sunshine and highs around 55 degrees. Rome with partly sunny skies and 51. Taking a trip to Canada, we'll find snowfall around Edmonton, Toronto this afternoon, or by tomorrow afternoon, you should see more around Montreal as well.
We'll get the jump on what storms are ahead in the next 7 days.
Will there be any more snow ahead for parts of the south? And how far will the Arctic cold spread? The answers are coming up in the Weekly Planner.
The good old to-do list. Everybody's got one. Well, right now, the Home Depot is here to help. At the President's Day event, find everything you need to make your home better. Like Traffic Master Pioneer laminate flooring at a new lower price of just $1.48 a square foot, or install for $1.99 a square foot more. And right now, get free carpet pad with any purchase of carpet and installation. Get everything you need to get things done. The President's Day event right now, only at the Home Depot.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
If you can't remember the last time you replaced the air filter in your car, then you need to get in the zone. AutoZone. You see, if you have a dirty air filter under your hood, then you're losing horsepower and killing your gas mileage. So do something about it today. Get to AutoZone right now and put a new air filter in your car. Get the horsepower back, get better gas mileage, and start saving money today.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
To find an AutoZone near you or to shop online, visit AutoZone.com.
And counting. The 210 horsepower supercharged Nissan Xterra.
Tonight at 8 Eastern, brace yourself for storm stories. See these students.
We were getting pretty frantic.
Go face to face with a tornado.
We're trapped.
On prom night.
I thought we were in big trouble.
Plus, trapped in the wild by a storm.
Nobody's gonna find me here.
4 terrifying days you have to see to believe.
50% of the people die within the first day.
Watch a new series from the Weather Channel. Storm Stories. Tonight at 8 Eastern and Pacific.
If you've been thinking about a trimmer on wheels, just listen to this. The all-new DR Trimmer Mower not only trims with ease, mows tall grass without tangling, and cuts brush and even trees up to 3 inches thick. But now, the new DR converts in seconds to edge along walks and garden borders, to aerate your lawn for greener, thicker growth, and to cultivate your garden. There is no other trimmer of any kind anywhere that can do so much so easily for you and your property. Call 1-800-314-8282 for your free DR Trimmer Mower catalog and video, and to learn about our introductory offer on DR's new powered attachments. There's no obligation, so call now 1-800-314-8282. Online at drtrimmers.com.
DR is professional power for homeowners. At 8 on the Weather Channel. And now, here's your local on the 8s. Currently, the temperature is 30 degrees with light snow. Forecast for your area. extended forecast.
Most of the active weather, the top stories east and north today with rain showers from the Carolinas southward into Florida. You'll continue to see that snowfall and push northward from the mid-Atlantic into New England and toward the Great Lakes too. Cold temperatures behind an Arctic front moving southward through the Great Plains, and we'll continue to see some snow back toward Montana.
Well, the snow that fell on northwestern Arkansas made for a fun-filled Sunday. For the second time in 4 days, snow fell in Arkansas and gave residents a chance to get out the inner tube for sledding or build a snowman. Skies will be clear today with temperatures in the upper 40s across much of the state.
Well, people confront the elements each night on Storm Stories. Tonight, a spring twister becomes the unwanted guest at a Kansas high school prom. It truly is a night to remember for a pair of teenagers in the heartland. That's tonight on Storm Stories here on the Weather Channel at 8 Eastern and Pacific.
While you're watching First Outlook, it's 21 minutes after the hour. I'm Kim Perez.
And I'm Nick Walker. Coming up, Kim's going to take us through the next 7 days, see what's in store for you.
And some changes. We're going to see our southern branch of the jet stream become more active. Let's show you here. And what that means is we're going to see rain in southern California. We're going to see it come across the country, the southern states, and eventually into the northeast, where it is going to be combining with some cold air, and that's going to spell some problems in the northeast. So as you can see, this area moving up into the northeast, and this could be a problem, looks like, towards the weekend, because we'll have the moisture from our southern branch and we'll have the cold air in place. Let's show you day by day where, starting with today, we're going to see rain in the southeast. This should be the last of it, at least for a day or two. And then snow in the northeast, some lake effect snow, and then we'll have, with our area of low pressure, we'll have snow moving into New York City and into Boston here later on. By tomorrow, again, skies will become sunny in the southeast, so enjoy this day, and temperatures should get closer to average anyway. Then we'll see the lake effect snows kicking in. Folks in, looks like Cleveland and Erie and Pittsburgh, Rochester, Buffalo will all see more snow on Wednesday as we get that cyclonic flow, that really cold Arctic air coming over the lake waters, the relatively warmer lake waters. And notice now, Tuesday to Thursday, how wet it's going to be here in the west, and including here around Albuquerque. Again, we had snow over the weekend. It's going to be rain coming up, and we need the rain in the southwest. So this is good. San Francisco, Los Angeles, I know this will put a dent in your travel plans or outdoor plans, but again, this is much needed rain. Even into Texas, and this time around in Arkansas and Oklahoma, it's going to be in the form of rain because that northern branch of the jet stream is way up here, and that's where the cold air is. So this moisture coming into it by Friday, it spells snow in Pittsburgh and Rochester, but it's rain mainly here in Indianapolis and Little Rock by Friday. So commuting on Friday, yeah, we could see some airport delays too from some of this. Now by the weekend, the rain moves into the mid-Atlantic, into the southeast, maybe a mix of rain and snow here in Boston, New York City, and then our next system comes into the Four Corners region. That means snow for the Colorado Rockies. And boy, ski resorts are going to be very happy with this forecast. We think that'll be with us even on Sunday. And then snow moves into Minneapolis. Then with our flow coming in the Pacific Northwest, showers are expected here, looks like towards the middle of next week, or towards the end of the week. Temperature-wise, well, how about some cold air across the north? That's going to stay with us probably for the next couple of days. We see a warming trend here across the south, back to the 60s in the plains where we had snow, 50s here in Little Rock and Hot Springs, 20s in New York City and Boston. So yes, we'll stick with that snow for a little while, it looks like. And then back to the 30s in Chicago by the weekend. But the Arctic air is staying up in Canada, at least towards the weekend. So that's it for your weekly planner. Let's get an update on the active regions. Here's Nick.
And Kim, we do have some cold temperatures developing here around the plains and into the Midwest today. Behind a front, as it sweeps down near the Great Lakes, we'll see temperatures fall around Milwaukee and Chicago. Very cold in the single digits today around Minneapolis. Here's the snow from the mid-Atlantic back toward the Great Lakes and then moving northward as this area of low pressure here southward moves eastward and deepens off the mid-Atlantic shoreline. So you can expect to see more snowfall here around the Washington, D.C. area, Baltimore, moving up into Philadelphia. I think
but it may be frozen to them. Temperatures dip below zero overnight, and they'll stay in the single digits thanks to a new blast of Arctic air.
We've got single-digit weather and Arctic air heading into New York, but first, Yes, more snow. I'm Mike Seidel at Central Park South. We'll check your forecast coming up in just a minute.
More snow in the Northeast. Uh-oh, we went through this on Friday. More problems for today. We'll have travel details coming up.
You'll need those headlights in Houston. Keep them on low beams, though. It's foggy. Dense fog advisories in effect. Once the fog lifts, you'll get a chance to dry out after a wet weekend.
Live from the Weather Channel, here's Marshall Seese and Heather Tesh with your weather today.
Good morning and thanks a lot for joining us at the bottom of the hour. I'm Melissa Barrington in for Heather Tesh.
And I'm Marshall Seese. Well, what's shaping up to be a snowy start to your work week in the Northeast is right after you started out snowy at the end of your work week.
Check out the bottom line here for major cities in the Northeast.
About 1 to 3 inches in Washington. We're expecting about 1 to 3 in Philadelphia, too. New York City, 2 to 4. And in Boston, we think you'll get about 2 to 4 inches also. Let's take it over to Melissa now for a look at the Northeast.
And all 4 of those major cities are under winter weather advisories for today. Also around Hartford and Providence, you also have winter weather advisories for as much as 1 to 3 inches of snow. Snow coming down in parts of western Pennsylvania and working its way through the mid-Atlantic states. We first take you to Baltimore and Washington, D.C., where those snow advisories are in effect for you. Also around Atlantic City. Atlantic City, expect 2 to 4 inches here, yes, along the coastline, and kind of a slick commute here around Washington, D.C. Overall, a lot of the heavier snow has stayed to the south of you. Also around Richmond, Virginia, you've even changed over. You were dealing with that rain-snow mix. That area shaded in pink here, and you've changed over to all snow. Around Pittsburgh, you're dealing with snow. Visibilities may drop off from time to time, and of course slowing your morning commute here, but nothing that you can't deal with. Generally, a couple of inches of snow from Pittsburgh to Youngstown to Cleveland and also around Columbus, Ohio. May need to slow down a little bit along I-70. In the New York City area, while the clouds, well, the bases are still continuing to lower here, and in the New York City area, the air is still a little bit too dry. We're not picking up any snow showers just yet, but to confirm that report, let's go ahead and check in with our own Mike Seidel. And Mike here is saying that the bases of the clouds were looking a little bit fuzzy earlier.
They are, Melissa. We thought we saw a few lonely flakes, but I think I'm just seeing things, just hoping for that snow to move in quicker than it's going to. We will have snow moving in here in the next couple of hours. The brunt of it falling between, say, 1 or 2 o'clock this afternoon and 5 or 6 o'clock this evening. So it will impact the drive home. However, in the city, with temperatures right now at 35, dropping back to 32, we don't expect any serious problems on the treated roadways here in Manhattan. As far as snowfall goes, we've had plenty of that. Last Friday, we had over 5 inches of snow. The seasonal average is 22.4. At this point, we've had 21 inches, so we're only about 1.5 inches below the entire typical snowfall in a New York City season. And we will easily take care of that today with 2 to 4 inches. Back on Columbus Circle, looking towards 8th Avenue, and the rush hour this morning, a very busy one. Monday morning here in the city, and everything is moving a-okay. But again, look out this afternoon for some slippery spots. Temperatures tonight in the 20s, and once they drop below freezing, they will not go above freezing for at least the next 4 to 5 days, with the Arctic front and lows in the single numbers expected here Thursday and Friday morning. So back to more of that type of stuff we had in January, Melissa.
And Mike, the roads, they were treated on Friday with that snowstorm. Are they still treated enough today where we don't have to deal with a lot of salt trucks going out?
You're talking about treating the roadways? I'm having a hard time hearing you. We have not seen any plows or any salt or sand trucks out yet. They're waiting for the snow to move in. But remember, there is snow, there is still salt on the roadways because we haven't had any rain or any other precipitation since Friday.
All right, thanks a lot. Mike Seidel reporting live in New York City. And for everybody in the northeastern U.S., we are expecting snowfall today. Temperatures, as Mike said, pretty mild right now. We are at about 35 degrees. 30 for your forecasted high temperature in Pittsburgh. Tonight, though, the Arctic air pushes its way into the northeastern U.S. and snowfall amounts, well, around Atlantic City down towards Baltimore, Washington, D.C. during the day today, 2 to 4 inches. And we could potentially pick up tonight as much as 2 to 4 inches in and around Boston, for example. Tomorrow in Boston, sunshine and colder. 22, 23 in Pittsburgh with a chance of snow showers. We saw snow in the south yesterday. What about today? Here's Marshall.
Well, we're dealing with snow that's left over from yesterday, and that's right around Arkansas, especially in the northwest corner of Arkansas, where some schools are closed this morning around Fayetteville, Arkansas, and also around Benton County there. That low pressure that brought the precipitation to us is heading northward along the Carolina coastline, raining pretty heavily in the Carolinas right now. But we're also socked in with drizzle and fog in many locations conditions in this entire southeast. Delays trying to get into Fort Myers, quarter-of-a-mile visibility. Delays getting into Houston's Intercontinental Airport, too, because of dense fog this morning. And the blanket of rain over the Carolinas, that's going to go on throughout much of the morning hours, generally about a ½ an inch in totals. And we may have another rain out for those qualifying laps at the Daytona 500, as we did yesterday. Looks like rain in the forecast today. Temperature topping out about 51 degrees in Atlanta. Late clearing in Atlanta and Birmingham to sunshine tomorrow. And on Wednesday, more sunshine, a little warm up in the south. Midwest is cold this morning. Here's Melissa.
And it certainly is. In fact, temperatures only in the single digits for today for forecasted high temperatures in Minneapolis and also around Fargo. 23 in Chicago, morning snow showers. Cleveland, you're already dealing with snow showers, a forecasted high of 31. Currently 6 below in Minneapolis, 6 below also in Sioux Falls, 26 above in Chicago. You can really see here where that Arctic boundary is pushing its way through the upper Midwest. And notice here a little bit of wind really gives us some nasty wind chills. 36 below is how it feels in Fargo, 27 below in Minneapolis. Hope your kids are bundled up if they hopefully don't have to stand out at that bus stop too long. The Arctic boundary is now starting to push its way into parts of northern Illinois and into parts of western Michigan, where we do have snow advisories in effect for snowfall. Cincinnati and Dayton also under winter weather advisories for a couple of inches of snow. Marshall?
Well, stay with us on your weather today. We're headed back to New York and Mike Seidel for more on the winter storm that's moving into the Big Apple. But for folks in Arkansas, the snowstorm created a fun-filled weekend of snowball fights and sledding. However, it may not stick around very long. Here's Dennis Smith looking at Atlanta.
As we focus in on the airport and the downtown area, foggy conditions continue.
Sorry about the dust.
Come on, guys, let's go.
The powerful new Chevy Trailblazer EXT. Room for 7. Room for everything.
I left the bagels in the jet.
Chevy Trailblazer, like a rock.
When it comes to your home phone, you want to make local calls. Let's say this jelly bean is a local call. You want to make unlimited local calls. Now you also want to make long-distance calls. This is a long-distance call. And let's say you can make an unlimited number of them to anywhere in the country. Welcome to the neighborhood. Unlimited local and long-distance calling for one low monthly price. What a sweet deal.
Call 1-800-JOIN-MCI today. The neighborhood, where local and long distance come together.
Storm Stories tonight at 8 on the Weather Channel. And now, here's your local on the 8s. Currently, the temperature is 30 degrees with snow. The forecast for your area. Your extended forecast.
Watch Storm Stories tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern and Pacific here on the Weather Channel. These are incredible true stories of folks who've witnessed weather at its worst. You can also take the Storm Stories Challenge. That's where you're invited to step into the shoes of the people caught in do-or-die weather conditions. See if you can make the same decisions that these storm survivors had to make. Just log on to weather.com/storm stories. Thanks for joining us this morning. It's going to become a snowy morning in New York City. It's about 20 minutes before the top of the hour. Snow not yet moved in. A lot of precipitation south of that system, and that means rain in the Carolinas to North Florida. But the snow could begin to pile up as early as later this morning in New York City. Then another Arctic blast moves through Minneapolis and Chicago. It's going to keep it cold over the next couple of days. And Dennis Smith is here to look at some of the travel problems you're going to encounter today. Dennis?
Here we go again. Sort of where we left off on Friday. We had snow, and now we got it again. I don't think it's going to be as major a storm in the Northeast.
No, there's 2 events in 4 days.
That's enough. And when you want to get away and head to the south, they're dealing with rain and fog. Well, what a mess. We've got snow in the Northeast, rain in the Southeast. That'll continue to be the main driving story with Interstate 81, the corridor of Interstate 95, Philadelphia down to D.C., the Beltway, still picking up some snow, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Columbus, and then rain farther to the south along Interstate 95. And even farther to the south, we're dealing with a lot of fog this morning. Airport delays still out of the Houston area, running about 35 minutes. The main culprit down to an 1/8 of a mile at Intercontinental Airport. Around the Tampa area, running about 45-minute delays. You can say the same for about Fort Myers, and they've been running about 45-minute delays out of Pittsburgh because of snow removal. I think now that they've cleared the runway, we can expect to experience some improving conditions there. Throughout the Northeast corridor, from our nation's capital to Boston, no major problems right now. However, as the day goes on, I think we'll encounter some problems at the airports with lengthy delays because of snow removal out of New York metro area all the way up into Boston. So keep that in mind throughout that corridor. Expect canceled flights. Again, nothing like the caliber we saw on Friday, but still be alert for some rapid changes. I-95 from Washington to Boston, the snow will continue to advance north and eastward. Indianapolis to Baltimore, the snow's been underway from that stretch and will continue. Atlanta to Tampa, Interstate 75 will be wet. In fact, Atlanta has seen the wet weather this morning, and they're left with low clouds and fog now. Where'd that building go? Oh, there it is. And we'll continue to see the low clouds and poor visibility. That may have an impact on the airport as well, so keep that in mind. We find the snow from the Ohio Valley creeping on up into New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and southern New York. More rain for areas of the Carolinas. And again, no delays at this moment, but an area worthy of keeping a close eye on as that snow continues to build north and eastward. Should be into the New York metro area by late morning and early afternoon into the Boston vicinity. So that'll be the impact. Later on today, Boston. Later on this morning, New York City, down to Philly, Baltimore, Washington, along the Pennsylvania Turnpike and the New York State Thruway. Keep that in mind as you're preparing your travel day. Wet weather from the Carolinas down into Georgia. Otherwise, outside the fog in Houston, good travel day out of Jackson, even Dallas and Oklahoma City. Meanwhile, in the upper Midwest, some more snow continues for Columbus, Cleveland, Cincinnati. That should be loosening its grip. Chicago, you'll find a cool day. Minneapolis, downright cold, single digits. And even Kansas City should be dry and chilly. In the western tier of states, a lot of low clouds and fog for Southern California. Otherwise, looks like a frosty morning in the central valleys of California should be improving. We'll keep you updated on the very latest. You keep it here and on weather.com, click travel.
How about the roads in Oklahoma and in Arkansas? The expressway's in pretty good shape after yesterday's snow.
Major interstates should be in pretty good shape. It's that secondary roads, county roads, that saw that snow yesterday, and on top of what they got early in the weekend, they may have a few icy spots, so be careful.
In Chicago, we would have icy spots had we had snow because it's going to be cold enough for that. 23 degrees for a high today, and we'll finally get above average, which is 34 degrees, by Friday. It looks like we might even get a little bit of rain. And Atlanta today, you're going to see some clearing later this afternoon, so we have better news on the horizon for you. Mike Seidel is going to return with a live report from New York City coming up after your local on the 8s, and we'll be back with more on what's ahead.
This program was brought to you by AutoZone. To find an AutoZone near you or to shop online, visit AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
If you can't remember the last time you replaced the air filter in your car, then you need to get in the zone. AutoZone. You see, if you have a dirty air filter under your hood, then you're losing horsepower and killing your gas mileage. So do something about it today. Get to AutoZone right now and put a new air filter in your car. Get the horsepower back, get better gas mileage, and start saving money today.
To find an AutoZone near you or to shop online, visit AutoZone.com.
Who are you?
I'm Snuggle.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. I'm Snuggly Soft. Come on, squeeze me.
I will not.
I make towels fluffy, blankets cuddly. I'll fill your house with snuggly softness.
Please leave.
Bye-bye. When it comes to real softness, there's only one Snuggle. Snuggle. There's no substitute for softness.
40 million faces have to face cold sores. No face should have to face another one alone. Today there's prescription Denavir, an antiviral cold sore medicine. Smooth on Denavir and it penetrates to block the virus that causes cold sores, so it helps healing at the tingle or the blister. Imagine, in 4.5 days wearing a smile instead of a cold sore. In studies, a few people experienced headache and redness. Call 1-888-DENAVIR or ask your physician or dentist. Help cold sores disappear with antiviral Denavir.
And counting. The 210 horsepower supercharged Nissan Xterra.
Tonight at 8 Eastern, brace yourself for storm stories. See these students.
We were getting pretty frantic.
Go face to face with a tornado.
We're trapped.
On prom night.
I thought we were in big trouble.
Plus, trapped in the wild by a storm.
Nobody's gonna find me here.
4 terrifying days you have to see to believe.
50% of the people die within the first day.
Watch a new series from the Weather Channel, Storm Stories, tonight at 8 Eastern and Pacific.
Life is full of big events. Some you plan for. Some take you by surprise.
Whoa!
But one place where you don't want a surprise is on your credit report. Which is why you should log on to freecreditreport.com and let us show you how to find out what's in it, who put it there, and who's been looking at it. You can't plan for everything life sends your way. But you can be prepared. So log on to freecreditreport.com and make sure your credit's ready when you need it.
Storm Stories tonight at 8 on the Weather Channel. And now, here's your local on the 8s. Currently in your area, 30 degrees with snow. Forecast for your area. Your extended forecast.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. You're watching Your Weather Today. I'm Marshall Seese.
And I'm Melissa Barrington. Glad you could spend some time with us on this snowy morning in some areas.
Indeed. It was snowy yesterday, too, in Little Rock, Arkansas. You had to step lively. The winter storm that started in the southwest brought 1.25 inches of snow your way. That was a new record snowfall for the date. This morning, the snow is pushing into the northeast. Mike Seidel's in New York City, and he picks up the story of the storm there. Mike, people preparing for this event this afternoon?
I guess if you can say having to deal with more snow in New York this winter, everybody's bundled up against the chill this morning. Although temperatures right now are at 36 in the park, so it has been a lot colder, and it's going to get a lot colder as we get into Thursday and Friday with lows probably down just below 10 degrees right here in Midtown Manhattan. As far as snowfall goes, look at the radar. Not very impressive on the radar now. We've got echoes through the Poconos up through Long Island. Most of this is not reaching the ground until you get back towards Philly and Wilmington, although Wilmington has stopped snowing. And then back towards D.C. Visibility right now at Reagan National is at 3 miles. Andrews, southeast of town, 1.5 miles. So the visibilities aren't incredibly low, but we think the storm, as it starts to power up a little bit off the coast later today, will start to throw some more moisture back into this cold air. Snowfall this season, we are way above average. Some of you in the Northeast having almost twice as much snow as you should have at this point. Boston, you've had over 30 inches of snow. Here in New York, just 1.5 inches below your seasonal total. Philadelphia, last year 4 inches. This season now you've had almost 22 inches of snow. It continues to add up. We'll have 2 to 4 this afternoon. Here we are looking at Columbus Circle through the rush hour, looking up Broadway, and traffic is moving fine this morning past the Trump Tower and away from the downtown area. Once again, cloudy skies now 36, and we will see the snow developing in the next couple of hours, tapering off early this evening. Melissa?
Well, Mike, you mentioned that the traffic was moving okay, but what about the traffic at the airports?
Airports right now looking good. LaGuardia, Kennedy, Newark checking clear, but the FAA is expecting delays to kick in there sometime after noontime, at least due to de-icing and maybe some snow removal, although with all the salt that's been put down and the fact that it is relatively warm compared to last week's storm, we're not expecting a huge delays due to snow removal. But again, check with the air carrier for flying in and out of the Northeast here and Boston the rest of this afternoon into this evening.
All right, thanks a lot. Mike Seidel reporting live from New York City. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the next couple days ahead. In fact, tomorrow morning as you're heading out to work and school, it'll be cold, especially across the Northeast and through the Great Lakes and upper Midwest, and noticeably colder because a push of Arctic air is moving in. Temperatures tomorrow morning in the single digits, widespread from parts of the Dakotas all the way into the Northeast. Further southward, though, across Tennessee and into Kansas, overnight lows in the 20s. How does this compare to average? Well, generally, most areas actually running about average for this time of the year. The exception, though, across the Great Lakes, where we're going to run about 10 degrees cooler than average tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's forecast, though, generally quiet in most locations across the country. The exception, though, through the Great Lakes, Detroit, over towards Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, and Pittsburgh. Some scattered snow showers for you. Quiet, though, for the major cities in the Northeast. Dry in the nation's midsection and also across parts of the West, but that is going to change come Wednesday. Notice here, storm system continues to build in the western U.S., spreads moisture into the nation's midsection and through the south central plains come Thursday. Marshall?
For those of you traveling in around Charlotte or Houston or Tampa, Dennis Smith has some advice for you.
It looks like the airports are having some struggle this morning because of low clouds and fog in this area. Reporting airport delays out of Charlotte, Houston, and Tampa. Some of those could run as long as 45 minutes in the Tampa area. Slow improvement with the fog gradually lifting.
And this afternoon looks like possibility of a shower for the Tampa-St. Pete area, too. We'll return to New York City. Mike Seidel.
Lexus ES comes available with rich leather and a Mark Levinson premium sound system. We pursue perfection, so you can pursue living.
Can you lose weight and still live your life?
No problem. Slim Fast made it very easy.
I never felt deprived of anything, and I was losing weight.
Hey, we're talking choices.
Rich, creamy shakes, meal on the go bars.
Slim Fast has snack bars. You can take it anywhere.
Now let's talk taste.
Oh my gosh, the Slim Fast shakes are so delicious.
Just like a chocolate milkshake from an ice cream store. Slim Fast worked great for me.
And it just works for me.
And it felt like I was doing it the right way.
Slim Fast, it's your life. Feed it right.
Are you troubled by creditors? You're pre-approved. I guarantee it.
Go from fat to flat.
You've won a dream vacation.
Want to see my webcam?
Want a better way to block junk email?
Everybody loves Back Off a crispier, flakier crust.
Switch to new MSN 8. Sign up now and get tougher junk email protection, plus 2 months free. It's better with the Butterfly. Call 866-TRY-MSN 8 today.
A whole new internet service has landed. It's better with the Butterfly. MSN 8, more useful every day.
Are you taking Allegra for your seasonal allergies yet? Whoa! I guess not. Allegra for multi-symptom relief. See your doctor for people 12 and over. Side effects are low and may include headache, cold, or back pain. Allegra, it's time to switch.
Want to help your puppy grow strong and healthy? Feed him Eukanuba Puppy Formula. Its exclusive Vital Health system delivers nutrients when and where they're needed for total body health every day. So your puppy can become the graceful, majestic dog he's destined to be. Eukanuba, what healthy dogs are made of, from the Iams Company.
How good is Ragu's new meat sauce? So good, it'll get them out of the kitchen. Now Ragu makes it the same way you do, with half a pound of meat. New Ragu Rich and Meaty.
And on this day in history, our fathers and
history doesn't have to put you to sleep. Come to the Louisiana Purchase Bicentennial. Our history lessons are multiple choice. You can go A, fishing, B, plantation hopping, C, gaming, D, golfing, or E, all of the above. Join us for more than 600 Louisiana Purchase events all across the state. For your free tour guide, call 1-800-73-GUMBO. Royal Caribbean International now sails from New Orleans. Call today and get out there.
Come celebrate the bicentennial of Louisiana Purchase in 2003.
Tonight at 8 Eastern, brace yourself for storm stories. See these students.
We were getting pretty frantic.
Go face to face with a tornado. Watch a new series from the Weather Channel, Storm Stories, tonight at 8 Eastern and Pacific.
The Weather Channel is brought to you by this cable or satellite provider. You can also get reliable forecasts from the Weather Channel through this radio station.
Storm Stories tonight at 8 on the Weather Channel. And now, here's your local on the 8s. Currently, the temperature is 30 degrees with light snow. Forecast. Your extended forecast.
Good morning from New York City. This is Mike Seidel at Central Park South. More snow moving in, and then another